Hello dears, Natalie Locke here with episode 42 of Write the Story, where I give you a prompt and 10 words out of this book, and then I share with you my writing process. The way I normally do this is I take 5-10 minutes max to outline my story. Then I take up to 20 minutes. Sometimes I get interrupted, things happen, and I write the story. If you are looking to do flash fiction, you came to the perfect channel. You can use this prompt after I tell it to you and write your own story. If this is your first time writing a flash fiction, I recommend no time limit whatsoever. Now let me go ahead and give you episode 42's prompt. The prompt is running away from change. The words to include are flight, blacktop, tense, contemplation, window, enclosure, spit, blink, trade, and fence. Now I will admit, this story has evolved a lot from the outline, then to the story that I wrote in the book, then to the story that I ended up typing up. The story I typed up ended up going back more true to the outline, and the story that I typed up is what I'm going to end up reading. I was just under 600 words once I typed up my story, and it's because there is this subplot that I really wanted to include in here. For the outline, the words that stood out to me first was blacktop. I imagined these were two kids had recently broken up and they were sitting on the blacktop in a car at the school. I kind of wanted to set that scene and give their age. Then for window, I had the girl looking out the window. The guy said that she seemed tense, and I was trying to figure out if someone was going to say the word flight risk, say that they're a flight risk, but I ended up changing that, and I really like how I changed that. So that's one change. I said, don't spit words at me, but I wanted to make it comical, and I did keep that in there. And then for fence, I was saying towing a fence, but I ended up talking about how one of the main characters was kind of fencing themselves off from people. So I used fenced as a wall instead of a uncertainty choice. Another line that I did keep was that the guy said he would trade places with the girl, and that they don't need to contemplate their plan right now. And then for enclosure, I kept it as it was the girl's enclosure because she's closing everybody off, but I also made the guy say, let me come into your enclosure. So I ended up not having the guy say that. Well, not say, let me come in, but I did have him say, you're fencing yourself off into an enclosure. And then the last one was, I promise to not even blink if you ask me. I used blink in another aspect, but I still like that line, and I'm kind of sad because I thought it was sweet. So the words that changed out of the 10 were flight risk, towing the fence, I ended up not using it that way, let me in your enclosure, and blink, saying I promise won't even blink. I ended up changing those. So 4 out of 10 did change. Let me go ahead and read you the story. B, come on, talk to me. I know we broke up over 6 weeks ago, but I'm still here for you as a friend, Adam said. B kept staring out the car window at the empty blacktop by the school. The sun was setting behind them. I know you've been tense. I thought it was school, but this last week you've pulled into your own fenced-off enclosure. Adam placed his hand on B's knees. Come on, this is a judgment-free zone. B sniffled, wiping her nose on her sleeve, also hiding the small smile. Her cheeks were pink and shiny. She took a shaky breath. I don't want to be in this town. Married out of high school? A mother before I can legally drink? Adam interrupted her. But you don't even like drinking. B narrowed her eyes. Adam held up his hands and zipped his mouth shut. As I was saying, I know you're not applying to college, but something happened that made me think my choices were made for me. So I decided to make the choice myself and end it with you. Little did I know. B trailed off. What? Adam scooted across the bench seat closer to B. B shook her head. Hey, judgment free, remember? What did you find out? Adam asked. I was pregnant. Adam's eyes widened. He leaned against the back seat, gazing through the windshield. I'm sorry, B cried out. I'm so sorry. Adam shook himself to reality. He reached out to B. Hey, it's okay, he whispered. B cried on his shoulder. Hey, it's okay. I'm here for you. Don't worry, you're not alone in this. Adam took a breath. Is that what you found out this week? That you lost? He wasn't sure whether to say fetus or baby. B nodded, releasing him from the responsibility of saying the word. I've been bleeding for a week straight. I missed my period 2 weeks ago. Everything points to a natural miscarriage. There's nothing natural about this. My body was unfit to be a mother. I'm unfit to be a mother. Adam cut her off. Hey, that's not true. I've seen you babysit everyone's kids in town. You are great with kids, which means you'll be a great mother. And now you can go to college and have kids after you're of legal age to drink. But can I add one caveat? Her mascara and eyeliner trickled down her cheeks. Adam wiped her cheeks with his sleeve, then allowed her to wipe her nose on his other sleeve. She nodded for him to continue. Now that you're done spitting, Adam smirked as he wiped his cheeks. Bree laughed. Adam continued. 1. Yes, I'm not going to college, but I do plan to go to trade school. 2. If you want a flight out of this town, just tell me when, and I'll buy a ticket next to you. 3. If you love me, don't push me away. I'll be your friend or boyfriend, whatever you need. I will stand behind you and not in front of you. You don't have to contemplate your decision now, but we can both build our lives parallel to each other. And when you're ready, we can even trade places and you can propose to me. Bree's shoulders shook. She pulled back, blinked a few times before speaking. I love you, Adam Chandler Edwards. Adam smiled, kissed Bee's forehead and said, I love you, Bridget Marie Walters. I really enjoyed this story. The way it evolved was, as I wrote the outline, I did have the idea of she was having a miscarriage, and that's why she pulled even further away, when she originally just thought that she was just ending it with Adam breaking up, and because she didn't want her life kind of laid out for her. But then she had the miscarriage, and it really just took a toll on her, and Adam noticed and reached out to her and wanted to talk. What I didn't expect is that when I wrote the story in the book, I dropped the pregnancy completely. I didn't really have enough room. I didn't really mean to, but I did find a line that became my favorite line, and when I moved it over, I kept the essence of that line. So one of the things that I needed to work on in this story is, even though I set the couple in a car, I had her look out the window, I feel like there was still my issue of talking head syndrome. They were just talking back and forth, and there wasn't enough movement, in my opinion. Someone might have a different mindset. Maybe your mind went running with what could possibly happen here as they were speaking. But for me, I tried to include it where I could, but I also tried to keep from echoing, such as B laughing constantly, it seemed, because I had her laugh and then I had her shoulder shake or shrug or something later, and then I have had her chuckle. Like there were smirks, and I was really trying not to have echoes here, but I really felt I needed to work on that, and I'm still working on that. I feel I did pretty good, but at the same time, I know I can do better, and I think this story could be better with those. In case you're wondering, this story is one of my longer stories. It's at 592 words. Actually, I think that's my longest story yet. The other one before this was 547. So that's a lot of words. But it's still under 1,000, and it counts as a flash fiction. Now for my favorite line. My favorite line that transcended, I'm actually going to read to you what it was originally when I wrote it down in the book. So Adam is trying to help B understand that he's there for her. Just, don't push him away if she's not ready for him to be pushed away. If she actually loves him, don't push him away. When he says, but don't push me away when I'm standing behind you, not in front. And I thought that was a really good line. So I kind of wanted the line to stand alone. That was the end of a full line, which the full line was, we don't have to contemplate a plan today, but don't push me away when I'm standing behind you, not in front. And I really like that line. I really think it's powerful, and it conveys how Adam views B, and her goals and aspirations. He's not trying to stop her at all. Yes, he has different goals, but that doesn't mean he's going to stop her from hers. And I thought that was a really beautiful mindset. And so when I wrote it In the book, that was the line I had. And here is the line that I had when I typed it on my computer. I will stand behind you and not in front of you. So it was kind of like he was saying his vows of what he promises to her. And I think that's beautiful. Like, we all have these goals and aspirations, and sometimes we need a kick in the butt to continue them. Like, I know for me, it's nice when I get a kick in the butt to go work out. I need to work out. I want to work out. I always don't have the energy to work out. And then I get a kick in the butt of, hey, you wanted to work out? Why don't you come to the gym with me, or go for a walk around the neighborhood or something? Some meaningful workout. And I think that is what Adam is for B. And I just think that's beautiful. And I really support that mindset of, I'm going to stand behind you, not in front of you. Or even stand beside you and pull you if you need it. Or push behind you if you're behind. Whichever. So I really am proud of that line. And I feel it embodies a lot of relationships. I hope you enjoyed my version of episode 42, and I hope you wrote your own version and enjoyed parts of it, if not all of it. And I hope you continue to find enjoyment in whatever passion you have every day, every week, every month, and every year.